actually get out on the field and kind of show people what this defense looks like?
We're chomping at the bit, man. We haven't all been together on the field, you know, yet. So like, I have this opportunity to really showcase what we can do and our talents and how hard we've been working. Is we're we're ready for the opportunity. We really are.
How important is it to have that fun attitude coming around this locker room, just being around each other?
I mean, regardless of anything that happens, and you got to remember the number one rule of this thing is to have fun. You just want to enjoy the game. That's how you get the most out of it, intrinsically and extrinsically. Just to continue to love the game and give your all to it because you love it for the fun of it, not just for wins and losses.
Myles, Jim Schwartz told us he's not everybody's cup of tea. So is he yours? And can you just speak to the evolution of your relationship as you guys get ready to?
And he talked like this big bad guy. Schwartz is a good guy, man. I like Schwartz a lot, and know what he brings to this team. The kind of mentality he brings just every day. Coming into the building on the practice field, keeping guys focused and just getting the most out of us. That is that's big for us because you can't let any drop off happen from day to day. He expects a lot, and we have a lot within us that we can show and put on the field.
What is it about you facing the Bengals? You've got 11 career sacks against them. You sacked Joe 8 times. I know you treat every game importantly, but just it seems that you're always at your best when you play Cincinnati.
Oh, maybe just like the jungle over there. I don't know what it is. I mean, sometimes you just catch fire at the right times. I guess it's just against them, but I've also been very blessed to have a good amount of help across the board. That is have these fantastic staff, but it's not just me. We've had success, team-wise as far as the defense and on the record. But we got to continue, doing those things to slow those guys down. They have a lot of great skill players I've we've seen, and the highest paid player in the NFL. So we gotta try to keep them off the board as much as possible.
When he's asked about the Browns, Joe Burrow, you're the first thing he mentioned. So do you think you're like living in his head?
I mean, I have no idea. I don't know what's in his head, but honestly, I have a lot of respect for him, regardless of what he thinks of me or this team. I think he's a hell of a player, and that contract goes to show. But I mean, he lives in the heads of a lot of players and a lot of teams across the league as far as what he can do and what he can really display on that field. So we have a lot of respect for him, and it feels good that he has respect for us.
Myles, how much better is your offensive line? They've added Orlando Brown.
We don't know yet. We got to see how they mesh together. They had a great addition in Orlando, and his size, what he brings to the run game, what he brings to the pass game, and probably the leadership that he brings. I'm not particularly sure about the leadership aspect, but he's a vet, and he has a lot of years of experience. So seeing how he can turn that thing around, I'm looking forward to seeing him, and I guess we all are.
Myles, you mentioned Joe Burrow's contract. Another guy, Nick Bosa, just became the highest paid defensive player ever. Do you pay attention to that stuff and you kind of think about that stuff?
I mean, maybe my mother and my agent do, but me, not particularly. Like, I wouldn't see the news unless it was placed right in front of me. So I don't worry about another man's money or anything like that. He went out there and earned it. He got DPOY, and he's been balling and lately, and wishing him the best for him. We want to see him healthy and want to see great football be played by great football players, and happy for him.
Is that one of those things that, like, for you personally, you'll just kind of wait till your next turn up? Or?
Yeah, I'm not worried about when that happens. I want to do right by my team and my teammates, and when we come to that time when it's time for us to renegotiate or whatever we want to call it, then we'll come to the table. But until then, just keep on playing football at the highest level and keep on enjoying playing the game with my teammates.
Myles, do you have some attainable milestones that put you up there with like Reggie White, Marcus Ware, Rondo? When you hear those names, what do you think?
Man, I just think about greatness. I don't think I'm up there. And I don't like to think about it in that perspective. I just try to do one game at a time and how I can help my team. And I think when you chase stats or anything like that, it starts to take your eyes away from the love of the game and really your camaraderie and your chemistry with the team. You don't want to try to chase those things. Those aren't always in line with the goals and the expectations of the team and being a good leader. So I think that's a great company to be in if I'm there, if in the opinions of others. But no, I don't look at that myself.
If you're not there, how do you get there?
Continue what I'm doing and just keep on striving for greatness. And I think there's a mindset to that, and I think that those guys were of that similar mindset. But I think they were kind of walking on on that path laid out by others and standing on the shoulders of the giants. But I don't think they were chasing anything in particular. They were just doing what they do as it came naturally.
Understanding you guys take it 1 week at a time here. The fact that you've got all 3 division opponents in the first 3 weeks of the season, considering the expectations that you as a team have for yourselves, and even some outside of the building, not everyone, but how important is it for you guys to get off to a fast start this bye week?
Yeah, I mean, you start off with so many division games like that, lined up. You want to be able to start fast and get ahead in your division. Those games count twice in most teams' eyes, and you want to be able to have a strong start, set the pace, and get ahead of things. You don't want to really break off even or behind. Those it really mean a lot towards the end of the season. So with all these meaningful games up front, you want to be able to win those and come across on the right side of things.
Myles, obviously on the offensive side, what are kind of the keys for you guys defensively against some of the
I'll slow them down. You can't stop completely. They have a lot of weapons, but you do your best to be disruptive to Joe. Get him out the pocket and make him use his feet, but don't let him throw that ball downfield. And as far as those skill guys, just try to extend the play long enough where the rushers can rush, and we can at least get them off balance, and hopefully you can make them throw us a couple.
Myles, Jamar Chase said yesterday something along the lines of Cleveland is Cleveland, which a lot of the fan base perceived as disrespect. It reminds of like the Juju Smith-Schuster thing from a few years back. The Browns is the Browns. Why do you guys take pot shots at you guys like that? You think?
I was asking that myself yesterday. I was like, why everybody want to talk about like the Browns is the Browns and Cleveland is Cleveland? I don't know what that means. My interpretation is that teams feel like the way the media looks at us is we've improved pretty much every year, or at least coming up, we're trending in the right direction, and they don't want to look at us like any differently than any other team. But the way that some teams look at some of the more prolific teams like Kansas City, or more of the historic teams like the Steelers, they'll treat those games a little bit differently, and so it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. You want to treat those games the same, but with some of those other guys, you want to put them on a pedestal, and there's no right way to look at it, but it's best to really just stay out of the situation, because it's really bulletin board material as much as you try to dial it back.
How do you feel about not being on the pedestal?
I don't care where I'm at. I just want to play ball. So, I don't really take offense to it, but, I will say I do have a sack on Jamar Chase. I wouldn't mind adding to it.
When he says I almost called them the L's, or
See, now that was disrespectful. He didn't have to go there. The L's part was, he knew better. And we might have to have a discussion before after the game. Maybe during if I see him. But, yeah, the L's a little bit too far.
we've seen you do so many cool things throughout this whole training camp. How excited are you to unveil it all and get rolling on Sunday?
I'm super excited. We've been counting down the days for a little minute now. I know everybody in the locker room is ready just to finally play.
And do you think that you will roll out at least some of the stuff that's sort of unique and innovative that we have seen you do this summer?
Well, that's the plan. That's the only reason why we practice and do what we do, so we can translate it to the game field, so, yeah, man, I'm super excited.
Elijah, did you know, like when you first got here, that that's how they wanted to use you, or did that just develop over the course of the spring and the summer? How did that kind of work?
Yeah, I mean, when I first got here, they kind of showed me an example of what they wanted me to do, and I guess as time went on, you get to show different things throughout, practice. So, it was just like a developing thing. The more I got to show, the more I got to do.
Chad O'Shea was telling us like a lot of that is mental, like being able to do that stuff. So I mean, how much of a mental grind is it to be able to be so versatile?
Nah, yeah, I think it's slept on. Like I said before, I think everyone thinks we're just out there running around. I know you guys know, but most people think that we just pitch catch. It's a lot more that goes into route running and what we get to see and what we have to do.
What did they use for you as an example to show you how they wanted to use you in the beginning?
Well, they give us a lot of resources. That's kind of their job, and even my teammates. People who have been here give me some of their examples of how something can be easier for me to do, to pick up, and to translate to the field from the meeting room.
Is it a certain player they show you, or a concept? What is it?
It's everybody on the team. Receiver group is very helpful, and even defense. Having different looks, playing in the league for a little bit gives me examples.
Jamar Chase, I don't know if you have seen any of his comments or anything like that, but he said, I almost called them the elves about you guys, and Cleveland is Cleveland. Just wondering, what are your thoughts on him saying something like that?
I don't got no thoughts on that. I don't know. He say what he want to say. I don't know.
Myles said that he feels on that point. He feels that other teams put you guys on like a lower level than
Yeah.
compared to like the Steelers, the Chiefs, whatever. How did you view the Browns before you got here?
Well, I was at the Jets last year, and we beat them. So I was in my head, I was like, but then obviously being on the team, now I knew they were a great team. When we played them, I think they only didn't get like one first down. So I knew it was very explosive, and then going against the DBs, I already knew some of them as well. So I knew it was a very explosive team. I was super excited. So, but yeah, man, I don't know. I can't speak for anything else.
The Jets kind of have I feel like the Jets have a similar feel to them, right? Like
Yeah.
some teams around the league look down on the Jets. How do you guys feel about that in the locker room?
I think we shouldn't worry about how other people feel about us. I think we should just worry about how we feel about us and execute. That's all we got to do. If we focus on us and execute, everybody's gonna be quiet. So.
When you look at this Cincinnati defense, most of their guys are back. They've been together for a little bit. Just what challenges do they present you as you're trying to find weaknesses in them to exploit?
A very talented group. I guess they got some young people coming in too, but they've been playing with each other. I know they lost their safety, but besides that, they're a group that's established. So you got to respect them. We definitely got to come ready.
You guys got 3 divisional opponents in the first 4 weeks here. I know it's 1 week at a time here. But just how important is it for you guys to get off to a positive start?
I think that's everything. It builds momentum, and when you got good momentum, you get to really get it going. I feel like that's only going to put us and propel us in the direction that we want to end up in, which is Super Bowl.
Receiving core, how have you seen that grow, that chemistry grow with you guys, and the connection that you guys have and build for the offense?
I feel like it's day by day. We're getting better the more we're around each other. It's only gelling better, and I know we're just ready to play in a game. So.
I know it's not your side of the ball, but I'm sure you hear Jim Schwartz a lot when you're out there.
Yeah.
Do you see some of his personality kind of rubbing off on this defense?
Yeah, nah, he's an explosive dude. He's always screaming. And on defense, you got to be cut different to be hitting somebody every single play. So I think he has to be like that. It only fires them up. So, man, major respect to him and how he is. It cheers up the guys.
When you go against this defense, how good do you think that group should be over there?
I think it should be the best that we should see. If we're versing the best, then in the game it should only slow down and be easier. So I got respect for all my teammates, especially the defensive, the defensive backs.